girls, it's me again, and I've got another pretty grim car to clean, so I thought I would do a wee video on it. Basically, a lad phoned me up, a lad I know, and said, look mate, I've taken this car in part exchange and it's pretty flipping grim inside. He said the seats are a bit furry and it smells like a mixture of death and Vimto, whatever that means. Anyway, the car's just been dropped off, so let's go and have a little look at it, see exactly what he's talking about. Right guys and girls, here it is. It's a 2007 Ford Mondeo. Now basically the lad, he's picked it up, he just wanted something cheap to run about in, and they don't get much cheaper than an old Mondeo with a 2 litre diesel engine. Good big solid reliable cars actually. Anyway, the main thing is the car's been, he'd got off of somebody that had used it as a sort of tip run car for going to the dump and stuff, and then in between that basically it's just sat about, so you can see there's spiders, webs and sort of mould and stuff all building up on it. All the stuff that you normally see on a car that's been unloved and just sitting about not doing too much. When you get onto the inside, the first thing you notice is the smell when you open the door actually, and this is what the man's main concern was. It stinks in here. He did mention about it being a bit furry. Well, I thought at first he meant dog hair, but now I realised that what he actually meant was there's mould all over it. On the doors and things like that, everything's just covered in, well, fur, mould, exactly like he said really. And the back seats are absolutely grim, so we need to give them a good shampoo. The carpets are filthy. There's definitely been something spilled in the car somewhere because it absolutely stinks. I mean, I wish I could do like scratch and sniff or smell-o-vision for you guys. In fact, you're probably glad I can't. But anyway, as you can see, loads of junk lying about inside it. Amazon boxes, I mean, that's your tip. They probably sent a SIM card in that for Amazon, haven't they? It's huge, but with the tiniest wee thing that would have been in it, won't it? Do a good job on the inside, he said, and then if there's any time left, do something with the outside just to try and make it, put a bit of wax on it, make it look a bit more presentable. But his main concern is definitely the inside, so we've got a full day to spend on it. Anyway, let's crack on, and hopefully by the end of the day this car is looking a hell of a lot better. Let's crack on. Right guys and girls, before we get on with that filthy Mondeo, I just want to say a massive thank you to our continued sponsor, yfoods. Now if you haven't heard of yfoods before, and you should have if you've been watching my videos, they make a range of meal replacement products. Their main sort of product is the ready-made milkshakes, and they are absolutely fantastic. They're lactose and gluten-free, come in a range of fantastic flavours, such as classic chocolate, happy banana, crazy coconut, smooth vanilla, and my personal favourite is cold brew coffee, which is absolutely the dog's ganglies. It really, really is good. The ready-made shakes are also available in a range of vegan-friendly sort of flavours as well. Similar flavours as, again, choco, vanilla, berry, banana and coffee, and in fairness, the taste is pretty much the same for the vegan ones as it is for the sort of standard shakes, so worth a look if you like vegan friendly products. Another thing that they do, which is really, really good, they do the powdered shakes as well, which come with a shaker. One of them, you just pour the sachet into 300 millilitres of water. These are ideal when I go out sort of in the truck. I have to put a couple of these in my bag. They don't take up hardly any room. Just fill it up with water, take a wee bottle of water with me, and then away we go. Sometimes I'll even find myself putting in a wee bit more than 300 mils of water. What that does is it means I can drive through the day and just have a sip here and there, and it lasts me all morning really. Absolutely fantastic. But also, as if that isn't good enough, they also do a range of bars as well, because sometimes you just feel you need something to chew on, don't you? So the bars are available in a range of flavours. Salty nuts and chocolate. My personal favourite is salted caramel and chocolate, really, really good. Coconut, hazelnut and chocolate. Well worth a look. And the bars especially, they're as good as anything in any of the sweet shops, but
they're actually good for you. So check them out. Everything is available, all the information is available on their website. There is a link below, and I'm pretty sure if you click on that link, there's also a discount code. I'm sure it's Autoshine 10 actually, so just check that out. Massive thanks to yfood for your continued sponsorship. I really do appreciate it, and even more I appreciate the fantastic products. So guys and girls, even if you're just having a look, click on the link, check it out. You never know, you might see something you like. Let's get on with the clean.
So with wheels this bad, guys and girls, the first thing I'm going to do is hit it with some wheel acid. I know there's some people out there that'll say, oh, you shouldn't use acid on your wheels and you want to be using a safer solution, a safe wheel wash, but the fact of the matter is you could spend all day trying to clean these with a safe wheel wash and you'd still end up at the end of the day just annoyed getting the acid out and actually getting the job done. So that's what we're doing here. Spray some acid on, work it in with a brush, come back with some TFR or a sort of pre-wash and then wash it off. As you can see on this one is really badly corroded, so a bit of acid is not going to make any difference whatsoever. After that, we're on to the engine. As you can see, it is pretty grim in there. But guys, use some film remover, degreaser on the engine, work it in with a detailing brush and then rinse it off, and it's as easy as that. Okay, one of the questions I get asked quite often is on my videos is when I'm jet washing the inside of the door edges to get rid of all of this kind of built up dirt and stuff that you get in there, does the inside of the car not get soaked? Well, no, it doesn't really. If you use your pressure washer on a sort of low to medium setting, or if you've not got an adjustable setting jet wash, just pull the nozzle a little bit further back and just aim so that the edge of the spray pattern is just about there, and what tends to happen is the water will just kind of roll up to the door edge and then roll out. You will get a little bit of spray sort of mist going inside sometimes, but if you're shampooing the seats and carpets, it's not going to make a big difference anyway. And even if you aren't, to be honest with you, it's so little that you can just wipe over it with a cloth normally and it leaves you with nice clean door edges. I mean, the only other way to do this really is you can sit there and do it with brushes, or the steam cleaner. You can actually get them pretty clean with a wee handheld steam cleaner as well. But it just takes ages doing it that way, and it takes literally moments to do it with the jet wash. And I think you get a better job as well. So let's get those clean. Go too hard on them with the jet wash round here because the hinges have got grease on them and you want to leave the grease on. You just want to get rid of all that kind of built up sort of dirt. So that's much cleaner now. So got the seats out, and as you can see, it's the usual story, isn't it? It's just grim in there. There's dust and crap and rubbish just left everywhere. You can tell they've been doing tip runs in it because something spilt out all over the back.
under the back seats as well. The back seat actually just lifts out really easy. It's just two of these bolts that hold it in, tip it up, these two bolts hold it in. I've just put them back in so I wouldn't lose them, but just look at under there. I mean, it's grimmer than a grim thing for Grimsby, innit? So I actually thought as well that I had found the source of our smell. I mean, what used to be a carton of milk here, I mean, just look at that, it's just watery, vile, horrible stuff in there. But the carton is still sealed, so I don't think that'll be the source of our problem. I don't know what the source is, but it definitely smells as if it's round about this sort of area. I'll put this in the bin before it ends up coming out. So we'll need to give the carpets a right deep clean, right deep shampoo. Round this side, just the same, more rubbish and stuff. Anyway, let's crack on. So once we got all the crap out, we're going to just sort of go over it. This bit under the back seat's actually all sticky, something's been spilt there. So we're going to give that a bit of a clean just so I don't lean on it or touch it with my hands or anything like that. Give it a good scrub with a brush and some G101 and just a wipe down my cloth, and look at it, it's like brand new again, look at that. Then we're going to get the hoover out, clean those carpets up. Probably one of the biggest differences I can actually make to a car, and it's unbelievable sometimes the difference just giving a car a vacuum makes to a car. It's incredible actually. As people come in with a car that's inch thick and dog hair, spend an hour on it with a vacuum cleaner, it's like a different car. So we're now on to cleaning the plastics, and for this we're using a product called G101 made by a company called Autoshine. We're also using some magic erasers just to get into the grain on the plastics and get all that sort of dirt out of all those little cracks and crevices and things like that. Always remember to clean your pedals as well, guys and girls. It's one area that's often overlooked and very important. So, onto the boot, get rid of all this old crap and that random battery, and we'll give it a good vac out, get it looking better and a nicer place to put your things in. Right, I thought I would mention this because it's quite a common question I get asked, is what steam cleaner do I use? Well, I'm currently using this Capture Vapor Rapid that I basically got off of eBay for 60 or 70 pounds. It's actually a cracking wee machine. I actually had a much bigger capture machine before, a kind of more professional sort of, apparently professional machine. It used pretty much the same setup, cord as this. In fact, these are actually the brushes and stuff off of the other machine I had. But it was always, it didn't really last very well, to be honest with you. And I've had this one for a while now and it's been absolutely fantastic, and as I say, you can pick them up really cheap, so well worth a try. They come with the kind of carpet brush generally, and you've got various different nozzles and stuff you can use. If you're buying a second hand one, just make sure that you get all the brushes and attachment that goes with it, because I've bought a few second hand steam cleaners over the past 13 or 14 years or whatever, and a lot of the time people try and sell them and they don't come with the attachments, which you really need, and if you start buying the attachments separately, the price soon adds up. So check them out if you're looking for a wee steam cleaner. They're brilliant around the house as well, actually, really good for like stains on carpets and stuff like that. Okay, so whilst we're waiting in the steam cleaner to actually heat up, it takes about 20 minutes or half an hour to get fully up to temperature. I'm just going to go around and dress the plastics with some of this, well, strawberry sheen or whatever it is. I think this one's actually berry. Now I quite like this stuff because it hides a multitude of sins, basically on old cars like this where the plastics and that are all scuffed up, and also they dry out in the sun and they go dull and stuff like that. This is brilliant. You just spray it on, and you can spray it on as thick or as thin as you like. I don't like putting it on too thick because it is pretty greasy. But after I've done this, and just before I do the windows, what I tend to do is just go over it with a dry cloth, and it gives it a nice sort of satin sheen. If you like it shiny or like really glossy, you just leave it like that as it goes on. However, if you want to just tone it down a wee bit, just a dry, clean cloth, you just go over it, and as I say, it leaves it nice and satiny, more of a sheen than a shine. On some cars you wouldn't use this, like Mercedes-Benz's, most BMWs and things like that, they've got sort of like soft touch plastics. You wouldn't use this on these. Same with like leather and things like that, cars with like proper leather dashboards and stuff. It's not the kind of thing you use on that. But on these Mondeos, old Fiestas, old Vauxhalls, things like that, it's ideal just for comfort. So finally we're onto the carpets, and we're going to apply some carpet cleaner first, BioBrisk, put it on, spray it on liberally, and then we're going to give it a scrub with a hand brush first, because it's easier to get into the edges and stuff with a hand brush. The steamer, although it's absolutely great, it's not great for getting right into the edges. So it's brilliant for doing big areas though, so flat areas where you put your feet and stuff like that. So anyway, on with the steam. That will hopefully help kill some of these nasties along with the carpet shampoo. So good scrub. The main thing when you're using a steam cleaner though is be careful not to burn yourself, because obviously it is pretty damn hot. Then we're using the Karcher to extract any sort of shampoo and vapour that's left between the shampoo and the steam that's came out of the steam cleaner. And the carpets are looking $1 million now. Look at that, what a difference. The passenger seat is by far the worst seat. I mean, just look at it. It's dirtier than a Saturday night at Charlie Sheen's house, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to use the same sort of methods as we did with the carpets. We're going to use some Autosmart BioBrisk, spray it on, get it on there nice and wet. And then we're going to steam clean it with a brush attachment and then wet vac it with our Karcher machine. So, we're almost there. It's starting to look and smell a lot better. So, whilst we're waiting on the carpets and the seats drying, I thought I would just tidy up the outside, go over the sort of stone chips and scratches on the outside. I found this touch-up pen in the glove box actually. Apparently it's been mixed to code. I don't know what code it's mixed to, certainly not the paint code. The Da Vinci code is probably closer, but it's better than white. And then, using the buffer, we just sort of get rid of some of the scratches around the door handles and things like that. It just makes a difference. And it gives it a good base to sort of wax to as well, so every little bit helps and stuff like that, doesn't it? Right, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the car a dose with the Ozone machine. Now basically what the Ozone does is it emits sort of ozone, I think it's like a gas. It charges the air somehow and it creates ozone. And basically if you've ever been to the seaside and you smell that sort of lovely crisp air, that's because the air near the sea is high in ozone. But basically this puts it into the car or any sort of enclosed space in a concentrated dose. And what ozone actually does is it kills any germs, bacteria, anything, any sort of small living organisms. So basically this should get rid of our smell, and in fact the smell actually is a hell of a lot better now that we've shampooed and steam cleaned all the seats and carpets. But this will just kill anything off that's left and make sure it stays smelling fresh for a long time. So away we go, and then it's finished. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to get into the car directly after using it. You basically just leave it on for half an hour and then switch it off at the plug, open the door and let all the sort of ozone out and just walk away from it for 10 minutes because it can actually attack your chest. So just a word of warning, don't get straight into the car after you've used it. So guys and girls, there you have it. Another one done and ready to go back to its owner. The outside is looking a fair bit better, just with kind of spending a wee bit of time touching up those chips. Alright, the paint match on the paint pen that was in it isn't really brilliant, but it's better than big ugly white marks and it stops it from rusting, doesn't it? Inside is 100 times better though, definitely, and it smells much better. If you are shampooing your car interior or seats or carpets or shampooing anything, shampooing your carpets at home, you can check out Autoshine brisket. It's a really good product and I just love the smell. It's nice and fresh smelling and you only need a little bit of it, so check that out. Also guys and girls, whilst you're here, I would just like to say a massive thank you for your continued support to the channel. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I know that there's a lot of you watch the videos every single time, and it really helps out. A lot of you like the videos before you watch them as well. Just liking the videos and subscribing, it just boosts my channel a wee bit and it makes a massive difference. Also, if you could check out the yfoods advert, you never know, it's maybe not your thing, but you don't know unless you sort of click the link really. But the thing for me is just by you clicking on that link, I get a wee kickback off of that. So even if you just click on the link and then come back out, just go on, click the link and check the website out. You never know, you might actually think something there is sort of up your street. Just check them out. The breakfast bars are actually sort of really good. The meal bars, they're fantastic. So click the link, guys and girls. Also, another thing, I always do a wee question, don't I? Well, it's summertime and it's just kicking in, right? It's getting pretty warm now here actually. Well, say pretty warm. Compared to some of you guys where you guys all live, It's probably not that warm, but I think it was 28 degrees here yesterday, which is too hot for me, to be honest with you, being a Scotsman. But it's kind of getting me in the mood for some holidays and stuff like that. Everybody's getting revved up to go on holiday. Now that we can actually go on holiday again, that's brilliant, isn't it? But there's been a lot of setbacks and things like that at airports. Like Manchester Airport's been queued out, people queuing for 8-10 hours and stuff like that. So it's kind of put me off that. So we're going to go somewhere in the country, somewhere we're planning on going, just somewhere in the UK. There's nothing wrong with that because there's plenty of fantastic places in the UK to go. But my question is there anywhere that you could recommend, any UK viewers, where would you recommend? Don't say Blackpool because I live in Blackpool, but if there's anywhere sort of nearby UK, not too far. I mean, I don't want to go down to Cornwall and that, although it's lovely, it's just a massive drive. But somewhere maybe East Coast, West Coast, maybe sort of up to Scotland, North England. Is there anywhere that you would recommend? Maybe a caravan site or log cabin site or something like that? I'm just on the lookout for something really. If you've got anywhere that you would recommend, put it in the comments below, guys and girls, and click the yfoods link please, because it helps me massively. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.